All right, I want to thank you all for joining in to another
Yeah.
Three. Put your hands together, family.
Yeah.
Welcome. You know, we're going to get strapped in. We're going to have another great episode of Sitting Down Around the Tree.
Yes, sir.
This is the time when you get with the family. You know, this is the time when you find out what's going on. So what's happening around the tree is where life begins. So we're going to talk about all that is good, all that's great, everything going on in your neighborhood. I'm going to let this go down here, Big B.
Yes, sir, buddy.
I'm going to bring this on down.
I tell you, man, you got to be a DJ too in your young age. Go ahead with your
This is my
bag.
young age.
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
All right.
Good
There
to see
you
you. Good
go.
to see you.
Should be able to see you.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Got everybody.
All right. We're going to get started and get locked in. You know how time moves on us, Big B.
Woo, yeah, buddy. I'm telling you, man.
I want to go in and say, you know, welcome. If you're first time joining us, this is the Family Tree. And today we're going to talk about all that is holistic, all that is natural, all that is organic, things that are, you know, maybe not talked about so much on multimedia. You know, we say multimedia. But what we want to talk about is talk about how things can help you to get along your way. That means doing healthier products. Maybe it's herbs, maybe it's supplements, maybe it's therapies or something. We want you to share today also. This is why we call it the family tree, because this is where the ancient laurel trees, we say, gathered around with ancestors sat around and said, hey, you know, whatever's going on, you're going to find it at the tree.
I know
That's what
right.
we call it, your social security. Say
That's
it slow, y'all.
Social security.
What's that
That's
social
right.
security? It's not a check. It's your family.
It's
How
your
about
family.
that?
That's right.
So
That's
today
right.
we want to invite you. There are no dumb questions. Ask what you may. We'll try to find out the questions. If we don't have it, we'll find it out for you. When you look down at the very bottom, you see where your reaction bar. If you have a question, concern, comment, testimony, anything on your heart and mind, hit the reaction bar. We'll put you in queue. And then from the queue, you can ask your question. Just like that. And Big B over there, or maybe Prophetess, if she comes in, we'll type it up and put it in there. Or if you don't want to come on face or as far as in the queue, you can also put it in the chat box. That's right. Put it in the chat box. Put it in the chat box, and we'll try to get that question answered for you. And again, if you're someone that may be calling in by phone and you missed the prompt that actually said how to raise your hand, don't worry. Just let us know you're on the phone, and we'll try to get to you. All right. Sounds good, family?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we're going to get started, but I wanted y'all to put your hands together for the host with the most. That's Bill 1L Morgan.
Buddy. Yes, sir. Yes. What's up, yo?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm sucking air. By the way, I tell you, man.
Sucking air.
Like I said, when I say a while ago, Daddy said, yo, dog, get up. I said, I got it. Pop somewhere in the room.
That's right, Big B.
Yo, man.
Big B, glad it look like you're doing good, man. You sure you ain't in Africa back there, man? You like you in Africa.
The Serengeti. How about that?
The Serengeti.
Oh.
Right. So tell us what's going on in the world, buddy.
Well, look, you know what? As I say, over here in Jersey, you know, of course, Jersey is just a different kind of thing, man. I was praying for y'all last night over there in Philadelphia. And not just Philly, but Pennsylvania, period.
Oh, right.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to go there, so I'm just going to be nice.
Yeah, so much going on, man.
Well, listen, guys,
yeah.
of course, with all the election stuff, things are just crazy. I'm not going to deal with that because that gets crazy. I'm going to go right straight to our very favorite website. That's encode2019.live, okay? Mm-hmm. And as of 11 minutes ago, let me slow down a little bit so everybody get the numbers. Our total confirmed cases, 638,685,225. Total critical cases, 35,720. Total deceased, 6,608,924. Total active cases, 15,145,589. And total recovered.
All right.
Our mental health moment, guys. Hey, 617,016,207. Now that's what's up.
All right. That's it, buddy. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, that's a lot of folks, man. You know, we can always say there's a site that we can go to and actually gives us the information. And we've been doing this for almost 3 years now.
Yes,
right,
sir.
Big B?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And what a great site this is, that it can show you where things are worldwide so you can get a perspective. You're not waiting on the media. They need on the media because this is an epidemiologist report that goes in real time. So as of, I have 19 minutes. Is yours 19 minutes, Big B? 19 minutes?
No, I was actually, what was it? 13 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Every say 15, 20 minutes, it updates in real time.
Yep.
So we get the
Mine was 11.
Total amount of confirmed cases worldwide because we are in the pandemic still. Even though didn't Biden say that we're no longer in a pandemic, and then they come back and say no, he really didn't mean that. He didn't really mean that. Scratch that, y'all.
Yes.
What do we really mean? What do we really mean is that you still have to cover up. We have this RSV. You've heard about the RSV.
Yes.
You got the flu, and then also, of course, COVID. They're calling it the tridemic. What is it? Tridemic, they're calling it. We talked about it last week.
Yes.
So what are you doing? Are you still doing the things that you have to do to build your immune system? We talked a lot last week about the lung support. I hope you all are doing something for lung support.
Yes.
Because as things start to change, the weather was a little warm last couple of days, and then now it's starting to get a little chilly. So that change in temperature has a lot to do with you. Changes the thyroid. Ladies, you should be also doing that basal test. Y'all remember that basal test we talked about? Thyroid, hypothyroidism. First indicators are things that deal with weight, temperature, and pressure.
Yes.
So we can go over that, a little bit if you don't have that information or if the first time you're joining us. But yes, basal testing should be in order right now. So you can see where your levels of minerals are, and are you getting a proper amount? Are you resonating at a certain temperature, and are you starting to do the things you have to do? Okay, so Big B, I gotta run upstairs. Somebody's calling me right now. I'm gonna put on mute. I'll be right back. Line everybody up.
You go quick. You all see that he does this every time, doesn't it? Every week he got an emergency. That's all right. We're gonna hook him up. Nathan, you know the deal, right? He's trying to make sure he hides a little bit, but that's okay. Listen, I just want to remind you again, always, if you have the questions, please put them in the chat, okay? Because I've missed a few, but not a lot. And then I get them during the week. So if I can help you doing like right tonight, if I possibly can, that way I'll make sure that they're in the in the chat when I send it out, okay, tomorrow. And he's been, listen, don't tell him I said that. He's been pretty good. If I can tell him he's good at it, he get a big head and don't want to give it to me so fast. But don't tell him I said that. This is between us. All right. So just know this, to make sure that you get everything there that you need. And also make sure that tonight while we're live, if you are not on, I know when you have your hands up, you're getting ready, make sure that you mute yourself so that in case you cough, all that kind of things, that things don't get all out of whack. All right. So we're going to make sure that we're in a position so that at all times there's no over, you know what I mean? No extra noise inside the stream. Why? Well, good thing. What happens is this, from a technical standpoint, with me, I will miss things. Y'all know how it is when you get young, kind of lose things. And I'm trying not to do it. I want to be able to serve you the best way that I can. Don't be laughing. I heard that back in the background. I'm young, but I hear good, y'all. Okay. Now make sure that everything is in line. And I'll put in as much as I can, as quickly as I can, so that I can make sure that I respect your time. And hey, everything goes well. And if you, by the way, do yourselves a favor, take notes. And I know that everybody is taking notes, but make sure you take good notes yourself. And if you miss something, you make it a point to do what? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. And by the way, if you hear something that I don't hear, do yourself a favor. You help me. Put it in the chat. So if it's specific information that you want, make sure you put that question in the chat so that I can scroll down, get it, and make sure that it gets answered. Does that make sense?
I hear him on here. Right. Can't hear it on there.
Then you need to mute yourself because I can hear you over here. How about that? Okay. All right. Now, so are there any particular questions that anyone has about anything? Because I want to make sure that we're in good enough shape so that we can get things all squared. So when Dr. Paul gets back, we'll be able to go right straight into it. I have a couple of things I just want to check here. I know Lynn has a question about was it Richard Valley? Oh, okay. That's something else. Then there's a question about somebody that's conceiving. All right. Well, anyway, we'll get to that kind of stuff. Oh, Hold on a second. I want to make sure. Now,
Bill, I put in a question about a sour stomach earlier. I think in the beginning,
the very stomach. Okay.
very beginning, yeah.
Okay.
Like when we first
When
signed.
we were first coming in.
Yes.
Okay, come on. Let me see here. Let me roll down. Let me make sure that it's there, because otherwise I'll miss it. And I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Do me a favor. Put it back in because I don't see it. I don't see it up here on the top.
It should be the first one up on your list, but let me
Yeah, just put it back in again, okay? Because I don't see it. I see stuff here about blood pressure.
Yeah, it's in the chat, Bill, about a sour.
All right.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay. It's there. Oh, I see it. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
I got you right
Thank
now,
you,
Carmel.
girl.
Thank you, dear.
All righty. All right.
Hey, we didn't need you. We was taking care of
I
things.
know. That's why I'm just joining. What y'all talking about?
Okay. All right,
All right.
Dr. Paul. There were a couple of, and I think, let me get this right quick. Carmela had a question before we go up on the top of it. She said, I have acid reflux and I have a sour stomach and queasiness. I've been taking ginger root, but it's still having the same queasiness. This has been going on now for 2 weeks. It comes and goes. What are your thoughts on that?
I would reset the gut. I wouldn't take something as strong as you said ginger. I think you said
Ginger root.
ginger.
I buy the ginger root and I make the tea for it.
Yeah, I would just go back to something really basic, something not as strong as ginger root. I would start with things like papaya. You can also do another one for the stomach whenever you have to reset would be raw cabbage juice. Raw cabbage juice, so get you, of course, unrefined. As far as no conventional, organic, no conventional.
Okay.
And then you can, just juice that and take raw cabbage juice. That really resets the gut also, along with the aloe vera gels, papaya, papaya seeds, things like that. They really work well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right,
Bill.
now. Okay, you got to come out. Now, Linda says, I have a question. I guess it was several weeks ago. Someone mentioned about conceiving. I'm trying to conceive, but I want to conceive a girl. What methods can I follow in order to have a girl?
Okay. All right.
Glory.
Now this is a little something that I'm going to take out of my naturopathy bag. Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And yes, and if you say that, if people say you can't predict that stuff, well, guess what?
Oops.
You almost can. You almost can. Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Okay.
See, what happens is there's this rhythm and cycle and clock. We notice that whenever boys are usually conceived in cycles, usually closer to the ovulation of the woman, when she's ovulating, as opposed to women girls tend to be after that cycle, which ends on literally the 4th or 5th day after ovulation. Yep. So we actually tell that, and it happens every time. We actually say, if you want to, because a lot of women say they may want to have a boy, or they've been trying and they never can get a boy. But yes, so usually after this cycle, usually there's a window of about 3.5, almost 4 days. So that's the boy. And I learned this one specifically from Dr. Africa, because we had a real long conversation about this, and he was telling me this method. And this goes back to ancient concepts of how they were to tell when they wanted to have boys. And of course, this was leading into kings and establishing kings and things like that. So the 5th day would move into female.
I want to get his picture.
5th day.
Guys, make sure you mute yourselves.
So that's 5th day after ovulation. Yeah.
Wow, Dr. Paul, this is neat. That's news to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. And we could also tell by looking at the woman if she was going to have a boy or a girl, just by looking at her. Yeah. And I've been pretty good at that. I could tell. And usually I can tell if I look at you real good, I can pretty much tell. It's the way you carry.
I'm just going by the scientific with the chromosomes, X, Y, and X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Prophetess, make sure you put that in there because I know a lot of folk want to know what that's all
I
about.
know, and you know what? That's a sit down. We talk. Usually when we talk about, this is we do what's called male female reproductive factors.
Mhm.
That's where we sit down with both the male and female with this. It's never, when someone says they want to conceive, we always group you together. You can't come in by yourself. You need to come together because a lot of what's happening with conceiving, that women tend to take the brunt of the error that sometimes happens if there's no conceiving. And they'll say
That's
that,
true.
oh, well, you just could not conceive. But really, it's not the woman's fault. It's usually the male's fault. Yeah. It's usually, because women really are taking care of yourselves. You really want to have the child. You're doing all the things you have to do. You're eating right. You're doing the things. And the guy's back there, he's eating wrong, cheesesteaks,
Yeah,
hot
man.
dogs,
Brothers get just as goofy sometimes.
drinking beer, whatever, and they're never doing that thing. So we actually say we give what's called male reproductive and female reproductive factors.
That's great information.
That means that we pair you with the same herbs and get you back into a systematic rhythm together.
Okay.
It's a circadian rhythm that the women and men get together, and we lock that. And when you lock that, that increases your chances.
See that, Anita? You just like me. I'm just finding that out too myself at this young age.
Yeah. And let me tell you,
I'm glad I came to class, Dr. Pope.
Try it, Bill.
No.
Remember, after the fifth day, it's going into a girl.
Oh, wow, that's deep.
Day fourth,
that's interesting.
4 days. Got 4 days.
Wow.
After she comes off cycling, right there.
Wow.
Ovulating. That's the time for boys.
Wow.
First through fourth day, somewhere around the fourth day.
Okay.
Fifth day, that moves into the girls. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm glad to hear that myself. I didn't know that, so I can help some of the young folks that are running across to who are looking with that.
Try it.
Same question.
It was taught to me.
Okay.
I'll just say, and let me tell you, it has worked. I've noticed that when people do that, it's worked. Yeah.
All right. So, how do you choose fish oil, Dr. Paul, without gelatin capsules?
Fish oil?
Yeah. How do you choose fish oil without gelatin capsules?
Well, it comes in, it's the brand names. You got to look for how this process, I would say move out of fish oil only because of the contaminants that are found in a lot of the fish oils. I would move towards something like the sea buckthorn. And that's because you're looking for the omega-3, which is the fatty acids. And you can find that in the highest form in the sea buckthorn, SEA buck, BUCKTHORN. That's sea buckthorn. You can't beat it. It's one of the best forms of fatty acid. Helps with connective tissue. If you have issues with trigger fingers, you name it. If you're coming off of an ACL, something like a meniscus tear or bursa issues, which is like the bursitis in your arm or your shoulders. Yep, that's good stuff. Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it.
Okay. All right. Now, next question. My PSA, this is come from Ronald. My PSA total went down from 4.1 to 10.1. And I had a
went down, you went up.
Oh, went from, not down. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Went from 4.1 to 10.1. I had a prostate biopsy in November 2001. The result was negative for cancer. What are my options?
Well, you got to start asking yourself what is causing the inflammation. I always start with structural issues first. I have a whole class for men, to check your prostate. This like a checklist for things for prostate. And ladies, you can actually share this with your significant other, or your significant male family members, that they always do this. And it starts very early. I would start as early as 30 years old with this. We should be doing this very early. And that is watching, number one, structural issues, lower back problems. Got it? Lower back problems. So lower back problems are usually L1 through L5. Got it? And from there, L4 through L5, somewhere around there. From there, you want to start to look at the way your sleep patterns are. Constipation is a big one. You got it? Constipation. Because when you're not eliminating, for men, it gets trapped in the rectum. And then when from trapped in the rectum, it's a small division between the anus, the rectum, and actually moving into the prostate. So that would be the second thing. Third thing would be urinary tract infections. Got it. This is the checklist. We're going to go down. Checklist. Okay. Urinary tract infections. A lot of people have UTIs and don't even know it. Remember, your pelvic area, it heats up more than any part of your body. So that's where the perfect condition for bacteria to grow. Don't hold your pee. Got it? Everybody, don't hold your pee, right? Right? Don't hold it. You got to go.
Go.
Right? Somebody say, I can't
So
hold.
You sure?
Yep.
That's exactly right.
And then the other thing is, dehydration. Dehydration is on that. And of course, you got to look at refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. It's sugar, excessive salt, and large consumptions of meat. You got it? So those are some of the checklists that you do. I would also check your pH on a regular. You got it? Check your pH. Know where you are at all times. So that's saliva and urine. Remember, double the saliva, add to the urine, divide by 3. So you know where you are at all times. Got it?
Okay.
So that's my checklist right there. And there's some other things too. You got to be in balance. Usually PSA numbers that rise have everything to do with something dealing with infection in that area, lower back problems, things like that. So, yeah, that's where we start.
Okay. All right, let's go up in the corner up there. It says iPhone. They will come back to this chat. iPhone. You there?
Okay.
Come on. I see your face. Unmute.
Hey.
There we go.
Is that me?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's you.
That's you.
How come it doesn't say Jackie Woodhouse?
Jackie, you know what? You have to change the name on it because it just comes up as iPhone.
Oh, I gotta change.
Yeah. Don't worry about doing it now, but
don't do it now.
Yeah. Hello, Bill and Prophetess and all of you on Zoom. Dr. Paul, I'm going to have a consult with you in December.
Okay.
And I was telling you about how not everybody comes from Africa. I have Indian roots in me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the African herbs, they'll probably work, but I take Sunrider herbs, they're food grade, and they don't like the Conco right here. I take it for my lungs, and it's food grade. I take a lot of them when it has as much as I want. The bottle's all empty. And what I did was I was gonna have to have knee replacements, but I took the white willow bark from Sunrider and the Sibuja. Have you ever heard of Sibuja? I took those 2 things, and now I walk every day if I want to for an hour.
Good. Sounds like good stuff. But I just want to what you mentioned about African versus
Indian.
Native American herbs.
Yes.
They're the same herbs. They're from the same family. They just get different names. That's all.
But aren't the Africans more like savages though?
No. Why would you say that?
Because of the tongues. They speak those tongues and they wallow around the ground and they go all crazy.
No, that ain't got what does that have to do with the herbs coming out of the ground?
I don't know.
That has nothing to do with it at all.
I don't know.
No, that has nothing to do with it at all. That's very.
You mentioned a lot. You mentioned a lot of herbs. I know dandelion root. I use dandelion root for my intestines. It works. So the Chinese and the Africans are the same, or what?
Yeah. See, you have the same thing, but it's different names in different cultures. Same family.
So when I consult with you, I'm going to tell you what I'm taking.
Okay. That's what the whole point of the assessment does. But just be understanding, okay, that herbs are from the earth. The earth has no prejudice.
Yes, there's no culture.
There's no prejudice or culture.
But there's medicinal and there's food grade. Medicinal is for me is dangerous.
Well, you have anything that's been processed by man is a problem. But anything that comes from the earth, that's God. You got it? That's the difference. So don't get that mixed up. Food grade comes from pharmaceuticals. That's correct. So
Okay,
you
okay.
just don't want to mix that.
I have
But
one thing to ask of you, Dr. Paul.
sure.
One thing to ask for you. I know that you sing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you sing "Walk in the Light" for me?
I will. Well, you know what? When Christmas comes around that
Yeah, that's
time,
when we
I'm
do all
gonna
that
sing
stuff.
my song. That's what I sing on here. But
But
definitely, I will.
you won't sing right now, huh? For me, you won't sing.
Uh
Just one verse. Just one verse, and I want to ask some more.
all
I
right.
promise.
Don't you start. Dad, you know you won't start.
I
You
have
ain't
I
gonna
have
get.
music. I have music to help you.
Okay, you got music. What kind of music you got over there?
I'm watching the time.
All right,
All right, so
yeah,
yeah.
we gotta go.
We got to go.
All right, I tell you what, I'll sing during the Christmas holiday, and then we'll make it a point. All right, but we gotta go today.
And
I
I
can't
need
do
one
it
of your
right now.
songs online
Okay, I'm
if they
gonna
would
let you
like.
go.
All right.
All right, Jasmine. Thanks so very much. I appreciate that. Okay. All right.
That
All
was
right.
an interesting call.
Thank you. Don't go away. Just
Thank you.
take your
All
hand
right,
down
thank
now,
you.
Jasmine.
Thank
So
you.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
thank you, dear. All right. Whew. Help me, Lord.
Okay, Big V.
Jasmine, watch it. I'll start
Excuse
singing.
me.
We all be in trouble.
Go ahead.
Dr. Paul,
Yes. Where
uh,
are we?
this is
This is Serena.
iPhone. I don't know how
This is Serena
you
Wade,
don't
right?
have my name on
Okay.
it, but
Yeah, I
I
got
see
you,
that,
Serena.
Serena. I see that.
I put two questions in the email for call him Doc. I mean Bill,
Yeah.
because sometimes you put it in the chat and it gets overlooked. So
Yes.
are you able to ask those three questions for me, please?
Okay. Well, let's take a look at the questions. What are your questions?
I was
Serena,
asking
I don't have my
about
email. I don't
the-
have my email up. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
See,
Since you're here, just go right
She
ahead
put
and
the
ask the questions,
in
Serena.
your email
You
and not in
can
chat
you
box?
just is this something of a personal question or is it something that you just you can just ask the question?
Yeah, just ask the questions, Serena.
Okay, the question is, what type of food should you eat once you have your gallbladder removed? I'm asking for someone. This is an
Right.
elderly person,
Yeah, you're
and
not
they had their
producing
surgery.
right. So after you remember, after the gallbladder's been removed, you no longer produce the bile, which helps to break down the food. So that means that you need help. You need help with the digestion. So that means you have to focus on herbs that cleanse, that are liver cleanses, but also digestive properties that has the ability to break down. So things like the aloe vera gel. We say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Things like the aloe vera gel. You know, I mentioned papaya. I just mentioned also the cabbage, the raw cabbage. All those are good. So you have to get it back in balance. So you need heavy. Stay off the heavy meats. That would be a must. Because every time you eat meat, you have to create the enzyme to break that down. It's always going to be heavy. It's going to make you very tired. That person that had that removed. And usually, we do a gallbladder flush. We do all kinds of different flushes. We do a liver, we do a kidney, a stomach, and a spleen flush. So all of those are in order. And they must cleanse every change of season. So that's colon cleanse followed by parasite formula. And the water's got to be spot on. Got to be spot on with that water. Okay. So those are just some of the things that they would need.
Water. I said she's using the correct water. She was just concerned about because of her gallbladder was removed when she was 86. So she's
87 now, right?
She's
she's 87 now. Yeah.
So assimilation is a key. Assimilation is very, very critical as far as and because a lot of people are not assimilating. That's really a matter. Also, you got to say stress-free. Because a lot of what happens with our attitude has a lot to do with what goes on in the gut.
Oh, yes, always.
So, so that's stress-free. So, a great tea would be like a calendula. Calendula, Calendula. Calendula.
Okay.
Okay.
And her second question, Dr. Paul, is
I have one other question too.
No, you had three questions. What is your opinion on plant-based Ensure versus a regular Ensure? That's number 2.
No Ensure.
Aton.
No, I don't recommend any of it. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
recommend any of it. And that's because if it has, and I'm almost sure, I have to look at that, came up this week in one of the consultation. I think we looked it up and there was some like milk-based things going on.
Yes.
You can't mess with milk.
Okay.
Yeah, anything you got milk, that's from cow. That's for the mammary glands for a calf,
Yes, there
not
you
for
go.
human consumption.
Yes.
So already you didn't messed up the gut already, just right there. That'll stop you from assimilating. Remember, they say that mucus is a mucus, it's a mucus multiplier because it was for a calf that has 4 stomachs.
That's right.
And so that's going to now cause mucus, can cause infections, mucus membrane infections, a lot of stuff. Milk is just bad, y'all. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Okay.
Dr. Paul, what about the almond milk? Is that okay?
Well, almond milk
is
dairy
better. Free.
Yes, it's almond milk is good. Just watch for the carrageenan.
Right.
The carrageenan is the thickener. Some people can, most of it, they've changed it. Most people have changed it. So when you buy it, it is carrageenan free. And carrageenan is not a bad thing because it's seaweed, but it's used to thicken up milk. And if you have an assimilation problem, you may have a problem processing that.
Okay. All right. Third question. What's your opinion on organic apricot seeds?
Oh, I love apricot seeds. Yeah, no, y'all remember my story I told y'all about the
help cancer
apricot seeds? Yes. Apricot seeds back in probably the early 2000, there was a big movement of people online that were taking apricot seeds and they were literally taking them and having success of removing things like grapefruit sized tumors out of their body. Yeah. So what did they do? They would take the apricot seeds and grind them down and then add them to, your food and your choices of smoothies and things like that. And it is an antioxidant. It's one of the highest antioxidants that you can get. So somewhere where all of this movement was happening, let me tell you, here's where the smoke and mirrors comes in, y'all. Somewhere they started, you would order them and you would get them by the bags, and they were something in the neighborhood of about something like $3 to $6 a pound. Like, I mean, that's how that's how many people were ordering them. Well, they found out that this thing was doing all the correction, and the government.
The government. Here we go again.
Government said, we're not going to let this continue. So they actually overnight shut down. They literally shut down the import of apricot seeds. And then they said any that come in have to be salted and opened. And they raise them from $6 to $12 overnight.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the true story. Got it.
Isn't it a seed inside of a seed?
Yeah, any seed of any fruit, because anything that has seed is technically a fruit, is the most antioxidant property of the plant. So that means that it is the highest energy because it produces everything, right? That's the DNA. That's what makes it grow. But also that is one of the highest forms of antioxidants. So you can take and dry out any seed and use it in your smoothie. Like I talk about the avocado seed. That is very, very high on the level of antioxidant. And that's been always known as a cancer preventer for so many things. So, anything that you can dry out as a seed. I tell you, it's a shame that grapes no longer have seeds. Because I believe that the rise of our cancer in America right now is because they removed the seed out of the grape.
Yeah.
Because most people started using, everybody would buy some grapes, right?
Yeah.
You grab some grapes, you go to the market, grab some grapes, bananas, things like that, apples. And the seed is one of the highest forms of antioxidant that you can get, grape seeds. Yeah.
Well, I heard that they said apple seeds is poisonous. Is that true? They said if you eat the apple seed, that's poison.
Only remember, apple seed is arsenic. but it's not arsenic and of poison arsenic
Right.
until it's at unnatural levels, which is that you got to take a ton of it in order for it to do that.
Oh, okay.
Got it? So you need arsenic. Arsenic is one of the nutrients of the body, right? And you can find
Dr.
arsenic.
I ordered a bag of
natural-
the apricot
It's also
seeds.
found
Also.
in natural forms of, captured in water.
Mhm.
It's natural. But at unnatural states, that's where it becomes poisonous. You remember what they had to remove? They removed seeds out of the prison system. They stopped giving apples to prisoners because there was a case where they took the apple seeds and somebody knew about this. One of those prisoners knew it. And every time they got an apple, they gathered all the seeds. They gathered all the seeds together. And then when they got to a huge level, they pressed down, add a little water to it, made a poison, fed it to the guards, got the keys, and broke out of prison.
Amen.
Yeah, that's what it is. So
Mhm,
after
mhm.
that, they said no more seeds and, no more apples. So
Yeah.
so just understand, you got to take it in perspective. When
Yes.
it's taken to high levels, arsenic is bad. Got it? But it's
Okay.
got to be a lot of it. Got to be a lot.
Dr.
Or we
Paul,
saw
Dr. Paul.
unnatural rates. Yeah.
Dr. Paul,
I'm sorry.
this is
I'll say this quickly, not meaning to interrupt, but the scuppernong, muscadines, and even the Concord grapes in season still have seeds.
There you go. The muscadine are the ones that I would really highly recommend. If you can get muscadine, did you know that muscadine pulls chlorine and dissolves chlorine out of water in a matter of like 2 to 3 hours? Yep. So you can take the muscadine. Yep. This is amazing, y'all. Muscadine.
Where do you get them? Where do you get them?
Kathy, that's a good question for you.
My grandmother used to have a grapevine in North Carolina. My uncle has a grapevine in South Carolina, but there's something called Pulp Vineyards. I think up here you can, and I actually found them in Whole Foods, but the season is only from like late August through September. It's like that
Very
season.
quickly,
That's the
huh?
only way you find, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you think that you have, now you can buy muscadine in capsule form also. You can buy it. You can buy it in a capsule form. So if you feel that you may have been exposed to some levels of chlorine that have been dangerous, yep, you can actually take that. It dissolves it. It's actually been used as a health remedy for a long time. And we've actually seen tests where we saw the chlorine, they had it in the water, and then they knew it was a certain level. They put the muscadine in there, and in a matter of about 3 hours, it was totally dissipated, gone. Yeah. So it
Dr.
helps.
Paul, this is Audrey. You can get Globe grapes at Green and Harvey at the produce store.
Okay, so they do have them.
Yes, that's where I go. Green and Harvey. Thank you.
And you can also get them at Shelton and that corner Jamaican store, Shelton and Worcester.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Jamaican store right there. Yeah.
Okay.
And what about someone who's anyone in Jersey? Because I know we have a lot of Jersey
a lot of
folks.
folk in Jersey.
A lot of folks in Jersey. Anyone here from Jersey that has maybe a co-op or somewhere in Jersey where people can get fresh fruits and vegetables? Anyone?
Of all places, Jersey being the Garden State too.
Yeah. So Big B, you might have to go out the car. You might have to go out and take a ride, man. Ride around.
Yeah. A couple of farms not too far from me. Y'all do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Paul, you have the information for the K-game machine?
No, not to give today. But when I have that information, I'll let you know because I'm waiting for them to get back to me. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Nita up in the corner. Nita.
Listen, I first of all, Dr. Paul, I have a question because I was speaking to a client today and she has depression and anxiety issues and problems sleeping. What good tea or herb that maybe I can recommend that she can use for sleeping instead of taking these 3 drugs that they provided to her?
Yeah, I would definitely go in there. Are they psychotropics also?
Yes, they are. Trazodone and Oh, I forgot there are 3 of them, and I just looked at her. So my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I would say this is what I would say, because the first reason that they may have been referred over there and this is where, I kind of I have a problem sometimes with the way people are diagnosed,
Yeah.
because sometimes, the person what's given them the diagnosis to take these things may not been what they actually say they have. And I would say always with anyone, before you do anything, make sure you have no structural issues first. Got it? Y'all hear me? Make sure you don't have any structural issues first. And that's usually the cervical. When you have that C1 and C2 out of place, you're going to think you're losing your mind.
I know that's right.
I'm telling you, it causes vertigo. You got all kinds of issues with dizziness, and, you get thoughts that are just like wild and crazy, and you just can't put it together. And a lot of that's because, remember, that feeds your brain. That feeds also your eyes, your ears. You got whooshing in the ears. All kind of stuff goes on. And you're sitting there going like, whoa, vertigo. You ever get up and feel like you're on a boat?
Yeah.
This stuff is no joke. And you would think that something is wrong. Am I being spiritually attacked? What is going on? And guess what? You got a structural issue. You got a structural issue. So before I tell anyone anything, I would say get yourself to see if there's any misalignment issues. Dr. Lenny, let me tell you, where's Dr. Did he come on today?
I didn't see him tonight. I was looking for him just a few
on?
minutes ago. No, I didn't see him a little while ago.
Oh, man.
If so, Dr. Lenny, if you snuck in, holler up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him yet.
I hope he does get on, because I did put in the chat thanking him.
Yeah,
because I got a referral for a chiropractor in Land O'Lakes, and I saw him yesterday.
Okay.
Plus, I had my first lymphatic massage.
All right now.
Yeah. And I started back with regular massages, and he recommended, are you doing massages? I said, I started back. So he said having the massage along with his treatment will be helpful.
Yes,
so
yes,
I have
absolutely.
to tell, and the person he referred me to is his roommate, who was his roommate in chiropractic school.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's
Excellent. So yeah, I would do that, Nitha. And if there was anything to help with cumulatives, that would be like a willow bark. Of course, the valerian, the kava, red raspberry, and don't forget the mushrooms, which would be the lion's mane, the Ganoderma or the reishi, turkey tail. That's just some of the ones off the top of the head right there.
Blue vervain.
Yep. Blue vervain helps also. Yep. Blue vervain. But also aromatherapies help also. Aromatherapies. So that would be rosemary, things like lavender, things like passion flower. Okay, all those can be added to bath waters, and they help to get medicinally. They can get you into balance also. But I'm going to be a strong stickler on this. I'm telling you, I think so many people have been misdiagnosed because they never talk about structural issues.
No.
And then when you do the probing, you go back and say, oh yeah, well, I've always had back problems. I was in a car accident, or I had a fall, or I said something went on, and they never really addressed it. They went through, when people go through accidents, they'll go through therapy, but not a chiropractor, not necessarily, unless the therapy has a part, or the person that doing the therapy does chiropractic. So that's where I would start there.
Okay. One more thing I want to mention real quick. I don't know if many of you, watching TV or see this commercial on, but I watch and see how they do commercials. But this particular one, I don't know if you've seen it, Dr. Paul or Bill. I think it's Jeff Bridges. And he
yes. He walks.
He's walking his dog, and
right.
he's talking about building your antibodies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Monoclonal antibodies.
He doesn't say a product because I was watching. I said, wow, that's interesting. Who is putting out this commercial? Building, but they don't say how to build it, but he's saying build your antibodies and build. He said, I've been through a lot. Whatever I guess it's true what he's been through, but build your antibodies and build your immune system.
And neither they actually look at it really, really closely. They're using a visual thing to really draw you. Don't listen to what he's saying. Come off of that.
Okay.
And look at what's happening because there's actually a product that they're actually pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I'm
Oh
trying
yes.
to see.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I've seen it. What I'll do is the next time I'll make sure that I'll try to record it and I'll analyze it for you and I'll send you the information how I see it from from a visual standpoint from TV and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Because that's what I do, just so you have an idea. Okay.
Yeah. So the concept of that is that they're cloning a unique white blood cell.
Yes, exactly.
That's what they're doing.
That's right.
So it's cloning. Well, wait a minute. If it's cloning a white blood cell, who makes white blood cells more than
anybody? Okay.
We do.
Okay. But they're adding something to it, trying to make it something special.
I don't understand it, man. And then it goes back to things like people taking melatonin. Why are you taking melatonin when you make melanin
all the time?
Yes, we all make melanin. It's nothing, everybody makes melanin. No matter what race you are, you make melanin. To what level, degree, what type, things like that varies. But melanin is a very constructive part of what your pineal gland does. So when you're taking melatonin, this means that you're taking something probably coming from an animal, by the way.
Yes.
It's probably coming from a cow. That's probably where it's coming from. So, you might... I had a bad joke there, and I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, please.
But you don't want to have dreams of having animal dreams. That's not good. So keep that right. So you don't need melanin. You are the greatest producer of everything. Everything is inside of you. You have the blueprint. So you don't have to go outside of yourself. Remember, you got to stay inside. Know thyself, because if you know thyself, then you know the universe, because the universe is inside of you. Okay. Don't go out of your mind, because if you go out of your mind, you're what? You're crazy.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I understand, Dr. Paul, so it's melanin. I thought the melanin was skin, and then the melatonin is a product you take.
Melanin, remember what melanin is. Melanin is a polymer. Okay, a polymer means that it comes in all different forms. See, there's melanin crystals, there's melanin gas, there's melanin pigmentation, there's melanin in the cells called melanite cells. So there's a lot of different variations of how melanin is produced, but it is the chemical key to life itself. So wherever there's melanin, there's regeneration. It takes a little bit of information and it makes a whole lot of it. You got it? So that's why when you need it, it actually is perfect for calming you down. So it's stimulated by light. Got it? It's stimulated by light. So that's why when you do things like sun gazing in the morning or in the early parts of the morning, you get that sun is charging your pineal gland just like a cell phone getting charged from the socket that you plug it in. Got it? And then when you start to release the melanin, this is how you release the melanin, y'all. You have to do it in pure blackness. That means dark. Shut off all the lights. That means don't sit around with the TV on, watching the TV watching you. Got it? You got to turn all the lights off. That was the key to the beauty mask. You remember women in Hollywood used to wear the beauty mask, right? That's because they were trying to stimulate the production of melanin, which actually helps you reduce wrinkles, makes you young again. Wow.
Blackout curtains as well.
Yep, blackout curtains, no pitch black. That's when it releases in and it goes in and starts to now correct. There, for every one melanite cell controls 30 to 40 other cells.
Shut up.
Powerful. So there's a great book called the Book of Great Melanin Book of Research. I have my book. Here it is right here. I just happen to have it right here.
No, he didn't. Daddy knew it was
Yes, I
coming.
did.
He knew the question was coming.
I always feel like I'm advertised. I just have to have it some. See that right there?
Mm-hmm.
The Great Book of Melanin Research. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to grab
right
that?
there.
Some of the greatest information of the greatest research done on melanin. And this goes back to some of the chemists, some of the largest organizations in the world. Let me just give y'all a few of these right here. This one, is anybody interested in this?
Yes,
book
indeed.
Right here. It was compiled by Dr. Randolfo Alessandro Nicholas. Got it? Rodolfo Alessandro Nicholas. And he was a chemist. He was a chemist. And he was a chemist that was actually he was actually a professor of organic chemistry in Rome University. So there was also, this book contains research from the Asian Society of Pigmentation Cell Research, European Society for Pigment Cell Research, Japanese Society of Pigment Cell Research, Pan American Society for Pigmentation and Research, and the National Institute of Health. Right here, the National Institute of Health. This is it right here. You can get this book right online. Just Google it, or I can't.
Probably have it on Amazon.
There it is right there. See right there?
Yep, right there. Yes.
Got it.
Now you disappeared.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
Good stuff, y'all.
All right.
You are the blueprint. Thank you, Neetha. Appreciate you.
Okay, just before we go up to Stephanie, this is her question. What makes a person bleed from the pores? Okay, Stephanie, bring it on.
You said what now?
Listen, come on, Stephanie. Ask your question. She's laughing already. Unmute. You got to unmute, Stephanie. I can't hear you.
Got it.
There we go.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's not me, number one. But I witnessed someone actually bleed from the pores of their feet. Like they're walking and looking, there's blood and you can't find a sore or a cut, anything. Is that something possible?
I would think that would have to be assessed, because if you're bleeding, you're going to see something. It's coming from somewhere. That's an hemorrhaging of somewhere, and that usually is a cut. I mean, it could be a small cut. It could be, very hairline cuts that are in the person's foot, especially if they have feet that are very hard or abrasive and they're not moist, because you can get cuts in your feet. That's why diabetics have a lot of problems. Is she diabetic, or he diabetic?
Sure was.
There you go.
Was, yeah.
See, what happens is, remember, they get lack of circulation in their feet. And if there's lack of circulation in the feet, that's where neuropathy comes in. No moisture. That's why the feet get really ashy, really cracked and scaly. And then they get little cracks and they break and they start to have blood. Yeah, that's very true. So that's why they tell diabetics, take care of your feet, but it's neuropathy. So that means concentration. He's got to stay away. Is it a he or she?
He.
Okay, tell him he has to stay away from concentrated foods. Got it?
Oh.
And also keep the feet very moist. You got to keep them moist. One that's really good, he can start to put things like oils that help to stimulate the nerve endings, things like eucalyptus oils. But also, when he puts anything on there, if it starts to burn a little bit, he's gonna know exactly where that cut is.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he's gonna know where it is. It's a cut. It's under there. See, diabetics will be going around because they can't feel under the foot. Because remember, the cells, when they cannot, have enough, number one, they cannot get the glucose can't get into the cell. Got it? There's no insulin. Insulin's the turnkey. And when they can't get into there, that's excess glucose in the urine. So that means that the cells tend to start to die. And that's when they start to now cause bacteria, infections. That's where gangrene comes in, all those things. That's lack of circulation. They can't communicate with each other anymore. You got it? So when you start to do this, you have to do things like definitely concentration. It's the food choices. It's going back to the food choices.
Okay.
I have two more questions.
Sure.
One it's about my nephew. When he was born, we was told that he was given too much oxygen. So as a result, I believe, this is what I'm told, that he has too many white blood cells. Is there anything he can do to build up his body?
Yeah.
He's always had a small body weight. And he's now in his late 30s.
Yeah. See, that's and now when this was when he was born.
Yes.
Yeah. When that happens, that can cause damage. That gets into another. That would be an assessment where we'd have to sit down with him and go over that. But that's something that happens when, yes, there have been situations where a child can get too much oxygen, and it can cause brain damage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I would have to sit down and assess with the person what's going on, because usually there's multiple things, and we can help them live a better quality of life. That's what we would do. But what are some of the symptoms that he has right now?
Well, I mean, all his life he's been struggling with mental things, but at the other side of it, though, he has a high IQ.
Yeah. A lot of them tend to be also, you'll see a lot of them rolling into the levels of savants. You know what a savant is?
No, I never heard that before.
Yeah, savants are may have been diagnosed with some level of brain injury, brain damage, could be autism, could be on the spectrum of autism or something. But see, what happens is part of the brain sort of reroutes. I told you God is a genius, didn't I? God is a genius. It reroutes, and it reroutes through a genius part of the brain. So that, like, for example, a savant is like a child who was considered disabled, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But there was this one child, for example, this lady was taking care of. She said nobody would take care of this child. So she started taking care of the child. And the child was like maybe like 5 or 6 years old and couldn't see, was blind and considered mute, couldn't talk or anything. And one day she's, sitting in the she's sitting in the kitchen. She's like cooking or something in the kitchen. And next thing you know, she's hearing this beautiful music on the piano.
On the piano, yes.
And she's like, wow, did I leave the radio on? So she goes into the room, and the child, 6-year-old, is sitting there playing like incredible, version of Beethoven or Bach or something. Just like if they just heard it one time and they can hear it, they can play it.
I believe that, because this young man, he can tell you about every war that ever happened in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. That's savant. That's a savant.
He became a historian in terms of reenactments of different wars. Like he got involved with. He's been in the background with like the Civil War. Actors, and he travels all over. Like,
I'm laughing because I saw there's a documentary on savants, right? And it was this guy. There was one savant. He could tell you, you give him a date in history, any date, he'll tell you what day it is.
wow.
They're amazing. It baffles your imagination. They're not even on the same plane we're on. They're on a whole nother level of dimensional thought. So that's why, God is a genius. I keep telling y'all, we have to respect this thing and understand that we don't know everything. And if anybody trying to say they know everything, you need to get away from them.
I know
Nobody
that's
knows
right.
this thing.
I know that.
God is awesome and infinite in his own way. This is God's game. You can't mess with it.
Amazing. And
So-
my last question is, how long can golden seal be used, even with the intervals of your 2 weeks on, then 1 week off, then 2 weeks on? Like, how long can you actually use golden seal?
Well, remember, you do it as a seasonal cleanse. So it's a protocol. So that protocol, once you go through it, 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks back on, quit it for a whole month. Then you can wait for a whole month. Then you can repeat the cycle. I always say start with 2 cycles. And then after that, every change of seasons. So that's every beginning of every summer, winter, spring, and fall. Yeah.
So Dr. Paul, are you saying that they should use that whole bottle?
No.
No.
She's trying to say, what's her question?
Yeah, not the whole bottle.
Okay.
You're just going to go through what is the protocol recommendation. Got it?
2 cycles of the protocol.
Yeah, 2 circles of the protocol. That is correct. Follow always the protocol with that one.
I was doing 2, like 1 in the morning, 1 in the night. Twice a
Well,
day.
follow what it says on the bottle.
Okay, it was 12.
Follow whatever it says on the bottle. Because each one may have what's called the layman's term version, which means you're taking it just as it says on the bottle. Therapeutic levels is something different. That's if you come in and we see something and we say you need to add a little bit more. But I would say stick with the bottle right now.
Okay, signing out. Thank you.
All right, Stephanie. Good stuff.
Thank
All right, thank you,
She
Stephanie.
brought the
She brought the
savants.
stuff, man. Yeah,
She
man.
brought the savants to the table today. Oh,
That's
man.
great. That's really great.
Yeah, let me tell you, there are savants that'll blow your mind. If y'all want to get, check out something on YouTube, there's a documentary on savants. It will blow your mind. If you ever want to know that there's the power of the Most High God, you look at that savant and see these children who have they have no, communication with our world almost.
Right.
But they're in their own imaginary and a brilliant love. Oh my gosh, it's amazing to bring tears to your eyes. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Before I go up to, well, actually, it's the same individual, Victoria. Victoria says, my 5-year-old son got a cold. What should I give him to improve his immune system? Victoria, since you're there, come on through.
Hey, Victoria.
Thank you so much. This has been such a blessing to soak up all this information. That is good. Right now, my son has been sick for 2 days. I've prayed. I've tried to give him natural herbs, but he fights me to just take them. So currently he has like a high temperature. He was just crying not too long ago before he just dozed off just now. Like mom helped me to get better. And he was on amoxicillin. He was vomiting this morning, multiple times and not eating for the past 2 days, like nothing staying in. He was on amoxicillin for like 2 weeks ago. For like 20 days now, because the first one they gave him, the ear infection, it didn't do anything. The ear was still red, so they issued a stronger one, and now like he was fine, and then all of a sudden like he is sick, like really, really sick, and I don't trust the doctors, and I need like some natural things to follow to get him better.
Okay, so rule of thumb, and this is just traditionally, and traditionally what's used, okay? And just make sure there's a checklist. I want to give you a checklist of things. We say not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, just food for the soul. So write this down. You got your pen and pad ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. First of all, how old is your son, by the way?
5 years old.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, the 5.
Yeah.
The 5.
He's like, he weighs like 40 pounds.
Yeah,
He's
5
very
means the number 5 means any and everything is happening. That's what 5 means. 5 is the number of energy. Yes, everything number 5. Something always going on with a 5.
Yeah, and that happens frequently, like where he goes in the cycle of like sickness, and he won't go to school, like, and it'll be
Okay, so here's the first thing you want to do. What type of water is he drinking?
I purchased the what is it? Essentia.
Ooh, bad water, bad water.
Bad water.
Yep,
Okay.
bad water already. Yep.
Okay.
So go with you want to water that spring water bottle at the source.
All right. Deer Park. I bought that also.
Throw that one away also, right? With the
Yes,
Ascension.
yes.
So bad
Okay,
water.
you want to get you a good water, that spring water bottle at the source. Now, Deer Park Frozen Springs are spring water, but they're not bottled at the source. That means deep in the earth, untouched by air. So when they tap it at the source. See, that's not going to hold the energy. Fiji.
What about Fiji? Yeah.
Fiji. Right. Or Crystal Geyser. You know, we have, of course, you're on a Zoom call of Crystal Geyser fans here.
Yes, yes.
So Crystal Geyser. Where are you calling from, Victoria?
I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Okay. So you're outside of Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in Delco.
Okay, so you could probably go to a Dollar Tree store that's close to you and find the Crystal Geyser store. You know, Crystal Geyser water. Okay.
Really?
And it's right in the Dollar Tree stores. You can find it also in your local. Look, just check around. Look at see Big B over there. That's the one right there.
See this one right here. Victoria, see this one?
See that right there? All right. Okay. So now with your son. Right. Okay. So Victoria?
Yes, sir.
You still there? Okay.
Yes,
so you want your water. Now the next thing is how much does your son weigh?
He weighed about 40 pounds. Like under
so that's good. So you want to make sure he has at least half the body weight in ounces. So he's at 40 pounds. He's at how you said he's 40 pounds?
He's when I weighed him yesterday, like he was like 40, but that's with his coat on. So he's like 30 something.
Okay, so let's just take it like he's like 30, like 37 or 38 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you take 38, divide that by 2. So half his body weight would be about 20 ounces of water.
Okay.
Got it? So that's how much water he would get in a day. Got it?
Okay.
That's in a day. Now, is he drinking water well, or is he having a problem with water?
He loves water. I raised him with
good
water,
thing.
so,
We got a good point here. We got a good take advantage of that. So that's the main thing. Never drink. Now, when you drink water, water is from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night. No water after 7 o'clock. Got it?
4 a.m. to 7?
Yep. If you got 15 hours for him to get that wet water in. And if you divide that by we have a little sippy cup or something, like an 8-ounce cup.
Yeah. He has the BPA-free little cup that
So if it's about 8-ounce cup, he want about 2.5 of those.
Okay.
Got it? That's your number. All right. Next thing with children, and I hope everyone's listening to this one. Everyone listening to this one? With children right now, one of the largest things that's spreading amongst the children is that they're communicable. They really spread germs and disease because they're feely touchy. They're feely touchy. Matter of fact, we got a Please Touch museum here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, how about that?
You know, because children, that's how you learn. Got it? So children are going to do that regardless if you tell them, wash your hands, keep your hands to yourself, make sure you cover your mouth. They're always going to be sneezing right in your face. So what you got to do is just try to keep his hands clean as much as possible. And then they get what's called gastrointestinal infections or we say virus in their tummies. So one of the ones that we use, and this is just traditionally used, got it, is black elderberry. Okay, black elderberry, or it's called sambucus. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I do give him the elderberry juice, but not juice. It's not I don't know if it's the black elderberry. I give him elderberry something.
No, this one's called sambucus. Okay. And it's for children. It's a children's version. And if I can pull it up.
That? I'm sorry.
SAM is in Mary, B is in boy, UCUS.
Okay.
Got it?
Black elderberry.
Right.
Yes.
You got it? Now
yes,
they have one, the one I want to give you information about. It's called Sambucal. So I'm going to get this one. I'm going to put this. Can I put this on for y'all? Can y'all see this? Let me know if I can.
Not yet.
This is for everybody now. Y'all got everybody has something with children that you want to get. Now, this is one that I recommend. So let me put this on share. Big B, tell me if I'm on, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Yep. There you go.
See this right here?
Yeah.
See, this one's black elderberry for children. Okay. It's an antioxidant. It's berry form. And this is for 2 years and older. And you can find different variations of sambucas. Here's one right here that's zinc elderberry. Usually they mix it with zinc and things like that because zinc stops viruses because they know children get stomach viruses. Okay. So usually you want to start there. Water, get a good one of these virgins. I would recommend the syrups. I would highly recommend the syrups. Okay.
All right.
Take his temperature. Are you taking his temperature?
He's always hot. Like he's hot right now. I've been putting the cold washcloth on him to cool him down.
Right. You know, understand why he's hot. Because the body's trying to burn up the infection or the virus or the bacteria, whatever it is. The body's concept is heat you up so I can burn it out. Got it? So that's what the elderberry is going to do. It'll help to regulate body temperature also. But that's where the water comes in. Got it? Water is going to help to also keep him hydrated at the same time. You don't need to give them a whole lot of stuff. He needs to rest. Keep all sugar away from him. Sugar, no candy, none of that stuff. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about ibuprofen? I did give him the oral.
Yeah, we're talking about natural stuff now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about natural stuff, and you said you wanted to move forward. So understand that this is your energy for what you need to get done. Got it? So this is right. So keep in mind, this is what we're just trying to do is just keep things in systematic form. So water, you got your Sambuca, got it? Sambuca has helped with that, keeps the tummy. Take it as recommended on the bottle. Got it? And then keep them hydrated. That's it. You keep that going get them plenty of rest, no jumping around, not playing on games.
Right.
You got to make them sit down. No sugar. That's a big no. No goodies, right?
Yes. I train him not to ingest sugar when he's not feeling well. Like
there you go.
So he doesn't. All he's been asking for is water. I did give him like the Pedialyte popsicle because
no Pedialyte. Watch the Pedialyte. See, Pedialyte. The one thing about Pedialyte is, and I see where you're going with this, but Pedialyte is a form of they'll use a refined water or a filtered or a purified water. Got it? And that's going to go right in to support the activity of the virus in your gut, in his gut. You got it? So he just changed the pH back to supporting the environment for it to grow. So that's why you have to alkalize. You got to stay alkaline. That's what the water is going to do. That's what the elderberry is going to do. No more popsicles from Pedialyte.
Okay, I'm throwing that away. The colloidal silver, is that a natural thing or no?
That's only thing you would use that for would be like spray variations, just to keep hands and things clean. A lot of the colloidal silver is used for like daycare centers, like that.
Yep.
But that's in spray form, not internal for him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I wouldn't use it for him.
What about for adults? Is that okay for adults to ingest?
Well, it's well, you have, colloidal silver is used. It's a high antioxidant, but not for him. Not for him. Got it? Not for him. He doesn't need a whole lot. Children don't need a whole lot. You just got to let their bodies correct themselves. So they just need the basic building block things that they need. I would give him a green drink though. The green drinks are like the green drinks that I have. You can go on my website and grab it. That's at shop.drpaulherbs.com. My son, for example, that is a meal replacement. It's a meal supplement and it's a multivitamin. Got it? So you
the
would just take.
website again? I'm sorry.
What was that?
What is the website again?
It's you can order it on shop.drpaulherbs.com.
Okay.
And what you would do is with children, because this is, and I'm going to tell you this because my green drink was designed from my son. I give him all the credit. I give him all the credit.
Aaron had to go through all the test stuff.
Because I said, man, I said, if he'll like it, everybody will like it because he's got those taste buds, and I made it right, land and sea. So you would take 1 teaspoon and just put it in about 8 ounces of its favorite juice. Got it?
All right.
Apple juice, grape juice, pineapple. He can do mango or cherry. No pomegranate, no cranberry. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah, none of those. No orange juice out of a carton. Only fresh squeeze with seeds.
Okay.
I know it's a lot of information, but you stay on course.
I do juice. Sometimes he'll drink it, and sometimes he'll say my smoothies are nasty. But I'm trying my best to raise him to be health conscious. I don't, fully do. Sometimes I compromise. I'm like, okay, I'm in dire need. Let me just do the over the counter.
What's his favorite juice?
His favorite juice is apple juice.
Okay. So what you do is when you make your juices, where do you make your juice? Like any fruit juices that you make, add the apple juice to it.
Okay.
That's what you would do.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you wean them into, taking things that are less tasty. They don't have that sweet taste. You train them. You got to train them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
He's like that. He doesn't ingest, he'll take a little bite of cookie and be like, I don't want any, because I raise him to drink water and this things of that nature. So I really
no frozen fruit.
this.
Yeah, and no frozen fruit. Somebody said no frozen fruit, right?
No frozen fruit.
fruit.
Okay.
All
No
right.
frozen
So
fruit.
so
Thank
I
you.
would say, Victoria, give me a call and we can
Yes,
do
sir.
a one-on-one assessment. Keep me
Yeah.
up to date on what's going on. Thank you for that question because I think you helped somebody on the call this evening.
Thank
That can
you
help
so much.
someone that's dealing with children, especially that's also the formulas that we would use for things with RSV to help the children because black elderberry, sambucus is also good for respiratory. It's an expectorant, so it helps do it with that. But you got to keep the goodies away from them. No sweets. Got it? Refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. Okay.
Sir, thank you so much. God
Thank
bless
you.
and all that you're doing.
All right. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I appreciate you. All right.
All
Dr.
right.
Paul, can I ask you something in reference
Okay.
to
Who
that?
is that?
This is Stephanie. When my children were little, before I would give them anything, the first sign of I knew they had a fever and I would take the temperature, I would always give them a light enema. Like I would give them use water, just clear water. And automatically, like before that night was out, the temperature came down.
Yeah, it's usually, it's definitely virus. It's stomach viruses are going like crazy with the children right now. And as I said, they're having they're feely touchy. So they put their hands in the mouth, easy, things like that, eating stuff, it's just the way children are children. So enemas are always good, but right now you need something to go directly into the intestines. That's what the elderberry does. Goes right there.
Hi, Dr. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to add one of my natural remedies that I use for my children, myself, and my family. For fevers, we cut a potato and put it in our sock, and it works miracles with fevers. Like I use no medicine, just the potato, raw potato, cut it and put it in a sock, and literally works miracles for adults and children.
You're talking about in when you're applying it for the children, how are you applying it?
I just put it directly on the bottom of their feet and put a
you're
sock
talking
on.
about the draw. Yeah, the draw.
Yes.
Just like that with onions draw also. And those are good. Those are all remedies that do work. You just got to watch. Here's the problem. The only problem that we're getting into is the times that we're in now are changing. So be careful, because when you have a potato, team potato ain't the same potato as it used to be.
That's right.
You know, so you got to make sure that's not conventional. It's not been sprayed. You know, these chemicals are what people are having reactions to. You know, so be careful with that. Okay. But all good stuff though. That's good stuff. Yep. Yeah.
Your screen is up.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Paul, can you pull the screen down so we can see everybody else again now?
All righty. Let's see.
Because I can't see there we go. So I see the chat question on the side. There we go. All right. Let me see. We've got Linda up in the corner, and let's see. We're at 36. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions.
Oh,
so
goodness.
help us, y'all.
Okay, help us, y'all. All right.
So
I wanted to really
let's
express that I wanted to be a little bit more intentional with that last question. And
right,
at the
we get
time.
that.
And I thank everyone for your being patient with us, because that was a situation that deals with a lot of our children, or children tend to get left out of the conversation. That's why we have to really start to know, somebody on here, not only maybe a mother or a granddaddy or father, but also maybe an auntie on here or uncle that can help a situation. And whenever they need it, there's nothing like being able to know this knowledge and information that you can apply. So thank you so much for that time. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, Linda, up in the corner. Linda?
Thank you. So I think I heard you answer this question, the Kangen water machine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Kangen water, I'm waiting for a call back now, from the company. I did place a call out to them, so I should be hearing something from probably either tomorrow or by the end of the week, and about what we can do as far as if you're interested. I have been a distributor for them for many years, so I just have to make sure that things are ordered. I want to get the updates, the latest updates. I want to get some reports from them. That's what I'm waiting for. I want to see some of their latest reports on some of the water findings and what their machines are doing. So that's really on me on that one. Okay. So
no, that's fine. I just saw something about this being like a medical grade machine or approved by the FDA, or was that?
Well, the Kangen machine was actually invented by a Japanese scientist, and it's so well that they put it in all Japanese hospitals. It's a mandatory in all their hospitals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it works. It does what it's supposed to do. And if there's an alternative that you want from it, something that if you're not doing the crystal geyser or spring water bottle at the source, this is a good alternative. So you'll always have water.
And does it require a filter?
Yes, it does have a filter.
It has a filter.
It has a filter, but it does not pull the hydrogen. That's the key. When it does not pull the hydrogen, you still hold the charge. And then if you live in a specific area of your country that you may be listening right now, maybe someone's in Texas or California or somewhere, they can give you a report on those areas, and there's specific filters designed specifically for your areas that you can add to the machines. So it's a lot of dynamic things going on with that. And with that, you clean it it's a self-cleaning machine. It'll talk to you and tell you, Big B, it'll tell you, tell you how much the water, what level the pH is on the water. You can use it for cleaning fruits and vegetables. That's what I use it for. It's just a dynamic machine, and you can add salts to the water also. Yeah.
All right. Do you use a shower filter as well?
There is a version of it that is a shower filter. That's correct. They do have a version of that you can put it right in your house and use it as a shower filter. Yep. So it's all good stuff.
So quick testimony. Thank you. Thank God for you and your advice. I know someone who had a follow-up with their doctor regarding they had stage 4 kidney failure, but they've been doing the celery juice and like kidney herbs, Uva Ursi, some other things. And got good news today. That's all I want to say. So stay the course, everyone.
All right.
All
All right. Now that's
right.
what's up. That's what's up. Yes, yes, yes,
Any
yes, yes.
news is good
Amen.
news.
Amen. I
That's
know
right.
that's right.
Everybody come off of mute just for a second to say congratulations, y'all.
Yes, indeed,
Congratulations.
indeed.
Congratulations.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
See, that's
Awesome.
yes, indeed. That's what's
They
up.
tell
That's
you
what's
you
up.
can't get it done. They tell
Man,
you
look,
you can't get it done,
don't be
family.
messing with Daddy. He knows what he's doing.
Don't mess with Daddy,
I know
boy.
that's right.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you.
All right.
All
Before we
right,
go to
Yvette.
that, let me say this real quick. There's something in the chat here. It just says iPhone. Talking about, I guess, a grandson who is, I guess, he's like a whiz, a nephew that will not speak, but he plays with their iPad and Bluetooth speaker better than him or the individual. So when he's around electronics, they work mysterious. He's about 18 months. And it's closer to his dad than his mom. How come how come he does not talk? Well, let me just give you a little bit of comfort. My grandson, all right, supposedly on the autism spectrum. Let me tell you something, child. He didn't speak for 6 years.
Oh my goodness.
Did not speak for 6 years. He's 10 now. And I can't shut him up. Okay. And wait a minute. Understand this. Know this. He also, with that computer stuff, he's better than I will ever get to be.
Oh my goodness.
He went down to my TV downstairs and just shut me out. Was able, all I can hear his little fingers doing stuff. I said, "Boy, what did you do?" He said, "See you later, Dad." And went over the corner by himself. Guess what? I left him alone. But guess what? He listens though very carefully. His eyes are always active because all of his sensors are all input. You must understand, it's all input. Just know this: when he decides to talk, he will. God knows when. So just be patient and
All
work
right,
with it.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Certainly,
Yep.
certainly.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, Yvette. If Yvette's not there, then we'll go.
Yvette?
There we go. Yvette.
Bishari.
Be patient.
Okay.
Thank you. I have several questions and I put them early in the chat. I'm recovering from I was having problems with my lungs. I had gurgling sounds and like this incessant coughing. And the only thing I had available was codeine. And then I had a televisit. And the doctor told me to take some steroids, which I just pushed those to the side.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I don't want to take those, but codeine was the only thing that could stop this cough. And I noticed that I have this electric stove. If the stove is turned on high and they put that black frying pan on it, then it just seems to trigger some, I don't know, my asthma starts in and I start coughing. And so I'm just trying to find ways to resolve this naturally. I've changed my diet. I poured out that Essentia water. I looked at the label. I didn't realize the ingredients that was in. I got rid of all that. I'm doing a geyser water now. I'm eating less meat. But I am getting tired of seafood and fish and tuna fish. And so now I'm like,
When you
I
say
don't know.
seafood, what else is seafood? Is that fish, or are you talking about things like crabs, shrimp, lobsters, things like that?
It's Whole Foods, farm raised shrimp and fish and the tilapia fish. Not even from Whole Foods.
All poisons, all poisons.
Even Whole Foods.
This is what's happening.
They claim that they have the best. And
okay.
They may have the best,
help you. Let me help you with this. Poison is poison, no matter where it comes from.
There you go.
You got it. That's it. Remember, the shellfish is an arthropod. His habitat is they call him the scavenger so that they can kind of lighten up the fact that this is God's cleanup crew.
Yes, amen.
That's it. This is God's cleanup crew. What they're doing is God says, hey, I got this beautiful ocean. I need a cleanup crew. But I can't put them on the bottom of the ocean because poop falls to the bottom. I can't put them down there. if I give the soft bodies because the pressure of the ocean would crush his bodies. So I got to put a suit on them. That's the shell. You got it? Their job is to handle the highest and most deadliest forms of bacteria, virus, and parasites.
Yes.
Got it? So when you're pulling them, they're even pulling them from the contaminated beds where the oil spills are. But they're also soaking them with these things called sodium tripolyphosphate. Got it? Sodium tripolyphosphate. They call it STP. Got it?
They're on farms. They're not in oceans.
It doesn't matter. It's still, they are scavengers. Got it? You know, arthropods are from the arthropod family, which means they pull from bacteria. No matter if they're in, even if they're in controlled environments, they're still going to look for the bacteria.
Yes.
You got it? So what they eat, you eat. You got what you, then now you get that, and it's going to go right into your lungs. You got it? Bloodstream. You need the blood cleanser.
What can I eat then if I can't eat fish either?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
See, shrimp and lobster. Remember, shrimp are the arthropods. Those are the land arthropod is a roach, by the way. So technically they're sea roaches. You got it? They have a purpose in the ecosystem. Don't get between that. If you get between that, you're polluting your body. And then that's going to go through your bloodstream. Now you can't breathe. You got it?
Yes.
This is what's happening.
So
fins and scales.
There we go. That's what
fins and scales is what ye shall freely eat. Ain't that what the word said, y'all?
That's right.
Can I get an amen up in
Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14, guys. Read that. It'll give you the rundown.
Fins and scales ye shall freely eat. That means upper swimmers. So tilapia is an industrialized fish. That fish was actually it has fins and scales, but it was an Egyptian fish first.
Yes.
And then they actually altered it. That was China doing all that. So that's why we say stay away from it. Also, the other one would be any of the swai. Or remember, if it has fins but no scales, that would be catfish. Got it? Flounder. Flounder has fins but no scales. Got it? So you see what's going on? See, the body is a righteous temple, and it will only accept what is righteous and true. So if we give it some poison, it's going to show you by giving you disease, imbalance.
So what fish can I eat then?
You can eat whiting. You can eat trout. You can have sea bass. You can have kingfish. You can have porgies. You can have spots. Y'all didn't mess with a fisherman over here. I can keep rolling all day. Croakers, yes.
But where's the best place?
Red snapper.
Red snapper.
Yes.
Where's the best place to get fish though? Because not all places have good quality fish.
Well, you just want to make sure you go to a place that's actively have fish every day. You don't want to go somewhere where they're not actively moving fish. See, in the way you look at fish, you always look at the eyes. Anybody know about this? When you're collecting good fish, always look at the eyes. If the eyes are nice and round, that's fresh fish. If the eyes are sunken in, leave it alone.
You're in a mess.
That's a bad one. That's a bad one.
What if they have cataracts?
Well, if he got cataract, that's a bad fish.
Yes.
You've been eating too much processed food.
So I tried to eat beans. To replace the protein because I was eating beef and chicken and I stopped eating that.
Yeah, you need an assessment. I would say get an assessment.
I can't do beans. My body just totally rejects it. It like
But Yvette, what I would say is give me a call so we can do an assessment because there's multiple things that you would have to understand as far as fundamentally. That you got to break not. What I would suggest, though, is going to my website and download the top 10 toxic foods. Got it? Go to my website, top 10 toxic foods, drpaulherbs.com. And you go to download and you download all those top 10 toxic foods. See, we've been breaking the rules and we've been taught wrong. So that's why we got to go back to the fundamental basics. Got it?
Yes.
And if
other question. I have a
Sure.
friend
Okay,
who has
one more.
lupus.
We got because we got to keep moving. I got to get going. Okay.
I have a friend who has lupus and a Baker's cyst on her knee. What would you recommend?
Yeah, she would need an assessment also. Just give her a call and we'll have an assessment because that goes into deep. When
Yes.
you're talking about lupus, we're talking about the wolf that's cleaning the blood. They would need an assessment, okay?
Okay. She's
You
in
can all
Maryland, though. Do you do assessments that far?
you can do phone consultations all the time. Yep. Every morning I'm on for about 2 or 3 hours doing one-on-one assessments. So if y'all want to do one-on-one assessments, 1-877-377-2854.
Got the
Okay.
number, Yvette?
That's 1-877-377-2854. Got it? And we'll do phone consultations, but we got to do a one-on-one, family. It's back to fundamental basics. We're breaking the rules. We're breaking the rules. And it's just about not what we don't know. We haven't been taught these things. We got to learn this. We should have learned this stuff in school, but they didn't teach us.
Not teaching it to you.
Yeah. All right. I got to take 2 more and I got to go, y'all. 2 more.
Okay,
and I gotta
Decoya
go.
and Jay.
All right? Give me 2 more.
Decoya.
Okay, Dr. Paul, you talked about the deodorant with the aluminum. So I found this one and it has charcoal and magnesium.
Good stuff. Good stuff. No aluminum, right?
No aluminum,
That's
but
right.
charcoal and magnesium.
Yeah,
So it's
charcoal
good.
is drawing. Charcoal is good because charcoal binds.
Odor.
Charcoal binds. Yep.
And
Charcoal
and it gets
binds.
rid of odor.
You got it. That's what's in. Charcoal is also used with your water filters.
Right.
So those are different variations and dimensions of charcoal is actually what's used for purifying. Yep. So all good. Good stuff. Where'd you get it from?
Thank you.
Don't say the dollar.
I got it on a clearance.
Listen, dear, don't worry about it.
I got it on a clearance sale.
Nothing wrong with that.
Read it, and I said, okay, I'm gonna check it out before I use it.
See there, people don't even know what they listen to.
Well.
See, that's what happened to Cole when you got a little knowledge. See there, you got a deal.
Okay, here we go.
All right, last one, y'all.
Jay.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. All right. Who
Jay?
else we got there? Jay.
Jay.
Wait,
Hey,
wait.
Jay.
Hi. I needed to know, what do you think about mammograms and ultrasounds? I just have to tell you what happened. Last week my sister died of breast cancer.
Sorry to hear.
Sorry to hear.
So I always have, I just think I have lumpy breasts, but I don't really like mammograms. So 6 years ago, I think it's my last mammogram, 2016. So, but last week I had a bad squeeze and pain in my breast, in my left breast. And it felt like a vessel or something was going to burst. So of course I went to the doctor and she did the physical breast exam and she said it feels fine. So they have me scheduled for a mammogram and an ultrasound, which I don't really think they work because I went through all of that years ago. I had the mammogram, then the ultrasound,
Right.
and they never find anything.
Yeah, let me help you with that, okay? See what's happening with that. You got to talk about the lymphatic system. You're getting caught between sciences right now. Allopathic versus naturopathic is really where you should be. You got to talk about the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system backs up. That's the sewer system of the body. And that means the lymph nodes. You know, lymph nodes are the secondary, well, the lymphatic system is a secondary circulatory system, but remember, not like the first system, it doesn't have a pump. It only moves by these little muscles that twitch, and they move when you move. So we got to watch dietary, and there may be some blockage going on in those areas of the lymphatic system because that moves bacteria, virus, fungus, sepsis, parasites, all those things move through the lymphatic system. So if it's backing up, you need a full detox, but you need what's called a lymphatic detox. Now, what I would recommend, give me a call. I can work you through. Are you in Philadelphia area?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you want to, you can set up an assessment, come on through. We do the full body analysis. But also, I can tell you on some of the shows that we've been doing on YouTube, I covered the whole piece on the lymphatic system. So go to the YouTube page on Dr. Paul Holistic Health Network on YouTube. And we did Big B. I think it was maybe about 5 shows back. We did that.
I think so.
I did a whole piece on the lymphatic system. There was a formula called the Mary Ruth's lymphatic support that we talked about. I think that was actually 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, it's about 2 weeks ago. We talked about this whole thing, and I would have to get really into it tonight, and we just don't have the time. Okay. So I would say just give me a call, set up an appointment. I could put you on point, tell you exactly what you need to do. All right.
Okay, Dr. Paul, when you go to the YouTube, to the YouTube channel, look for the date of October 26th. Because
October
right now,
26th.
they may be mixed in. So guys, look for the dates when you go there, because right now they're mixed in. All right.
Okay, so October 26th. Look for that one.
Look for that one.
Go in there, and you can you'll hear the whole breakdown that I did on the lymphatic system.
That's exactly
Everyone's
right.
system is backing up, y'all. I'm telling you, it is what it is. So.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Dr. Paul.
Dr. Paul, you know I'm technology
Challenge.
impaired. This is Lynn from Darby. I had a quick question. I waited all this time. I don't know how to work these gadgets. But Dr. Paul, I rushed myself to the hospital because I had pain under my breast, and they found out I had blood clots everywhere, lungs, under the breast, the whole work. So they gave me Eliquis. I immediately start feeling better, but that stuff is expensive. And let me tell you, Dr. Paul, they were stunned that I wasn't on anything else. And I told them, because I am a student of Dr. Paul, baby.
Well, you go ahead now.
I can't take that. I can't take that. Listen,
So
hey,
Dr.
listen.
Paul,
Real quick, Queen Bee, Robin, and me, put your questions in the chat, guys.
I appreciate it,
I
Lynn.
don't know how to do that. Can I call you tomorrow and find, I'm going to come in for an assessment, but I can't afford this Eliquis mess. And I don't want to be on no medicine.
I hear you now. I hear you. So I say, just give me a call, set it up. Ivy or Melania, get a hold of me, and I'll talk to you. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, guys. Real quick, man. Real quick, guys. Yes, sir. Remember, guys, know to get a copy of tonight's chat. Send an email to me, mechavideo@gmail.com. Again, that's mechavideo@gmail.com. To support the family tree, use my Cash App, and that's $ Bill Morgan. That's $ Bill with 1 L Morgan, all together. All right. If you use the bank, go through Zelle. That's Dr. Paul at drpaulherbs.com. Or if you use the P.O. Box, hey, guys, send it to me at P.O. Box 191, Mullica Hill, New Jersey 08062. That's all, guys. Bring your family, your enemies, all those folks. Guess what? We got to keep the family healthy and rolling.
Right,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You learn anything tonight, y'all?
Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right, we're gonna be healthy around this tree, right? We're gonna keep it going. I only charge you. I don't charge you with anything, only with the truth that you gotta go tell somebody. Take this information, share it with your family. Let's give a shout out to Big B over there.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
We also want to say thank you to Prophetess over there. I didn't see Prophetess all evening. I don't know.
She was there she's been there the whole time, Dr. B. Yes, sir, Dr.
Thanks to shout out to Prophetess for putting the chats on there.
Yes.
Also remember, you can get this, as Big B said, you can get on, we're loading them up on YouTube, but you can go always to Facebook. We can always load them up there on Facebook right now until we get the things up, and we're getting them all in order on YouTube. So thank you, and continue to support us. You know, Big B over there is doing a great job and doing all the editing and everything, and I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, man,
always.
Much,
man. All right, I just want to say thank y'all. Be encouraged, and remember, if you're breathing,
got it shot. Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
All right, come on, tap it out.
Hurry. Yeah, Ron, waiting on you, buddy.
Hurry up. Hey,
Marcy. Carol G. I see you back there, Carol. Yeah.
All right, tap your head.
Hello, Mela. Melon, go this way. It goes this way. All right, I know that's right.
And breathe. Remember, don't stop breathing.
Yeah.
Don't stop breathing.
Claudette. Yeah. Sydney. Yeah.
Tapping. That's right. Move that limb system, y'all. Move that limb. Come right under here. Right under here.
Yeah.
K21. 120, K27 right there. Get you. Got it. Come back here. That's the thymus. And breathe. Come on, left and right. What's on the left side, y'all? What's on the left side? Come on. All right, I'm on the right side. Where's the right side? All right, we're going to breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Y'all doing some Tai Chi? Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Breathe in.
Yeah.
Breathe out. One more
Get it,
time.
Mary.
And breathe out.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you for joining us on the Family Tree.
All right, Sonia.
See y'all next week. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all much. Share this information, y'all. Got it?
Great.
All right.
Have a good evening. Yeah.
Thank you, Big B.
All right, buddy. Yes, sir. Blessings.
All right. We'll see y'all. Take care. And we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Good night.
Good night.